What's up, everyone? Welcome to my very first online video topic. These kind of videos, I'm going to be posting some more. They're a little bit different than the kind of content I was making before. This is going to be a little bit longer, and it's going to be about topics that we kind of just have to sit down and talk about rather than demonstrating or anything like that. So I figured we would start off strong and we would talk about nutrition. Probably one of the most important things, if not the most important component to overall fitness and well-being. And this is going to be a quick talk from yours truly. As you can see, I have a little BS right on there. No, that does not mean that this is BS. This means that I have a bachelor's now in exercise science, so I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about. So let's move on. Quick overview of nutrition. I'm not going to go super in depth with this discussion. I'll save some content for later, but these are the main points that we're going to cover in today, and this is a similar format you can expect going forward. So first up, nutrition is super important. Yes, really. You've probably heard that you can outtrain a bad diet, or maybe that you can't. And if you heard the second, that's true. You can't outtrain a bad diet. It would be great if we could. It would be great if we could just work out and kill some cheeseburgers after and call it a day. Unfortunately, that's just not how it works. You've probably also heard that when it comes to your whole fitness, it's 80% nutrition, 20% training. I wouldn't say that that's even necessarily true. I don't like to think that you can put a percent on the importance of one over the other. I think they go hand in hand, Good nutrition is going to lead to good training, and to get even better training, you need that good nutrition. So nutrition comes first, but you cannot forget about training as well. They go hand in hand. Nutrition is probably the biggest contributor to how you're going to end up looking like. So with nutrition, it is a very powerful tool that you can use to shape the way that you look. And that brings me to my next point: calories in, calories out. So it's simple, as I said here, but not practical. If you're not aware, we exist on Earth, and because of that, we have to obey the laws of thermodynamics. You cannot create energy or destroy it. So unless you're beating the law of thermodynamics, which is just not happening, you have to take some sort of consideration to how many calories you are taking in on a daily basis, and you're also burning. So think of it like a balance, like a scale, If you're eating more calories and bringing in more calories than you're burning, which, for a lot of people that in today's society, we're all sitting, we're not doing a lot of walking. That's the case for a lot of people. Your body has nowhere to store all this extra energy. At the end of the day, that's what calories are. They're energy. And if it has nowhere to use this energy, to do anything with it, it's going to convert it to fat. And it's going to be waiting for a time where you don't have food on you, and then it can tap into that fat and keep you alive. So although in simplest terms, calories in, calories out is very simple, it's not so much practical. And what I mean by that is it's very, very hard to track all your calories. It's really, really tough. And it's not also very helpful to hear you just eat less and move more. Will that help you lose weight? Yes. But how are you going to do that? How are you going to accomplish that? So those are some things we'll talk about in the future. But realistically, you need to be somewhat conscious of what you're putting into your body and how much you're moving. And that leads me to the next thing. There's not one solution that will work for everyone. So one diet, one nutrition plan isn't going to be the best thing for everyone. You might hear some people praise keto diet, paleo diet, vegan diet. I myself, I'm maybe slightly biased toward my way of eating, but I understand that that's not going to be something that's optimal for everyone. So you got to find something that works with you, something that you'll stick with, because consistency is above all else. It would be a great thing if you had a perfect diet for a week straight, but the odds are you're not going to keep that perfect diet. You're going to fall off the wagon. It's just human nature. So now let's go into a little bit more of some sciencey, I would say, things. We're talking about macronutrients. So we talked about calories, but we need to talk about macronutrients. So what is that? Well, there's three main kinds. There's proteins, there's fats, and there's carbohydrates. And they are not all created equal. They all do different things to your body, and they carry different amounts of calories depending on which one they are. So protein has 4 calories per gram, fat has 9, and carbs also have 4. I'm also forgetting one, which is alcohol, which has 7, but we're gonna omit that one and hope that we all kind of understand that drinking alcohol is bad for our nutrition plans. But yeah, so protein, we'll start there. Protein, it's the bro sort of macronutrient. You always might hear you got to kill the protein shake after the gym, and while that has some truth, you do want to get protein in. We'll talk about that more in the future, but protein is essentially just a bunch of amino acids, and they all contribute to building the proteins that make up you. So your muscle is made out of protein, and when you go to the gym and you tear down some of that, you're going to have to repair it, and that's where protein comes in. It goes to the muscle, repairs it. Now, you can eat too much protein and you'll just end up peeing it out, but for most people, I find that they're not eating nearly enough protein. So we'll kind of get into recommendations next, but generally speaking, increasing that protein intake is something that is an easy thing to do. Next up, we have fat. So there's different kinds of fat. There's saturated fats, there's unsaturated fats, and there's even some trans fats, which are bad, by the way. Don't eat those. But you want to have fat in your diet. Although it's 9 calories per gram, and it doesn't really fill you up that much. You can eat a lot of fat. It has a lot of calories, but you do need it. You do need it. So, for example, your cells of your body, those membranes, they have cholesterol. They're made out of cholesterol, and you might find cholesterol in eggs, dietary cholesterol, that is. You might find it in some other, saturated fats. And you need it. You do need it. I'm not qualified to speak on, specific recommendations for you, because for everyone it's different, like I said. For some people, eating eggs is not the most optimal thing to do. However, you do want to have at least above, I would say, 25% of your diet, those calories coming from fat. So don't go below 25, or if you're really going to push it, that's 20, but do not go any lower than that. Otherwise, you'll have some adverse effects. And then carbohydrates. So you don't need carbohydrates, but they're very, very recommended. Because at the end of the day, fruit and vegetables, those are carbs. So you do need those to get a well-rounded diet. You need nutrients. Sure, some people, with the keto diet can get around not eating carbs. That's a different mechanism. But generally speaking, some healthy carbs like fruits and vegetables, some whole grains even every now and then, some potatoes, some rice. They're helpful because they give you energy. That's what carbs do. They give you energy. And you want to have those workouts, depending on whatever you're doing. You want to have energy going into that workout because you're going to have a better outcome. If you go in all sluggish because you are trying to cut out all your carbs and keto is just not working for you, well, a bunch of bad workouts isn't really going to help you that much. So I would recommend most people have some level of carbs in their diet. And my general recommendations for you, I kind of been saying them already. Keep the fat a little lower, 25, maybe 30. Stick around there. A lot of people will find that, they're eating a lot of food that's been processed, cooked in oils, and they're not counting They're not counting that, and that's a huge amount of calories that they're forgetting to put in, or at least take care of. And then protein, a recommendation would be 1 gram per pound of body weight. So I weigh 170 pounds. I'm going to try and eat 170 grams of protein. Now that's going to be pretty difficult. So that's why, you want to find protein sources you like. Find those. If you eat meat, find those kind of meat that you like. If you eat fish, try and find the kind of fish that you like, or seafood, anything like that. Yogurt, dairy, eggs, egg whites. These are all really good sources of protein. And if you need to hit that 1 gram per pound body weight, I would recommend adding in some sort of supplementation shake. So depending on what you've heard, maybe I need to clear the air. Protein shakes at the end of the day, as long as it's just protein powder and water, it's food. It's not poison, it's not anything crazy. They might put in some artificial sweeteners in there, but those are also okay. It's food, it's protein. Put it in your diet if you need to hit that number, and try and space out your meals, space out your protein. That's going to help keep you full. Carbs, like I said, pick healthy sources of carbs. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, white rice. If you like brown rice, eat the brown rice. I like white rice, so I do that. Fruits and vegetables, if I haven't said those already enough. I'm a big fan. Things that you like, things that you'll stick with. Try to avoid too much grains. Cheez-Its are not a good source of carbohydrates. Okay, they might taste good, but they're very high in calories, and they have some other things in there that we don't want. So avoid that, at least. And finally, eat meals, not snacks. But when you do, choose those snacks wisely. So I would recommend that everyone has 3 to 4 meals a day. That's good breakfast, good lunch, dinner, something later in the day even. What I do is I eat 3 meals a day, and then when it gets a little later and I'm hungry, I'll have some Greek yogurt with some berries in there. And I find that keeps me full, and it spaces out my protein in a manageable way throughout the day. So I would recommend doing that. If you have to, though, if you're on the road, or you're in a pinch, or maybe you're just a person who really can't cut out snacks whatsoever, find things that are, good for you. Find things that you like, too. So a little Greek yogurt package that you might find in the store that has 20 grams of protein, eat that with some fruit on the side. That's not quite a whole meal unless you have a big amount like I do at night, but it's a healthy snack nonetheless. Maybe a good protein bar, a good quality one. Make sure you're not getting one with a bunch of added sugar or any of that bad stuff. We don't want that. A protein bar is a good option too, or just a fruit by itself, if you have to. I like an orange. I think it's a good snack. But choose wisely, okay? Like I said, Cheez-Its, Goldfish, pretzels, processed popcorn. So I'll put an asterisk next to that one. Popcorn is a good snack option, but you have to make sure you're getting the right brand. So you want Smart Pop. You want the kind you pop yourself. You don't put in all that oil. It can be a good option. Now, what should a high-quality meal look like? So I kind of briefly talked about it, but a high-quality meal, it's going to consist of a few things, okay? So you're going to want first and foremost, you're going to want that good quality protein source. So it can vary. It could be fish. It could be meat. It could be some sort of vegan thing if you are a vegan. But most times I would recommend steering away from that direction and allowing yourself to eat meat, because I think that's one of the most healthy foods you can eat, and very, very filling. Protein fills you up. If I haven't mentioned that already, it does. So just eating a bunch of chicken breast versus, I don't know, a bunch of Cheez-Its, that protein's going to fill you up a lot more. So we want protein, we want those meat sources in our meals. So I would say about 1/3 of that plate should be filled with protein. Do that. Then you're going to want to take the other 2/3. You're going to want to have one of those thirds be some sort of a vegetable. find the kinds that you like. I myself, if you gave me steamed carrots and told me to eat it, I would not. I can't do it. Although carrots are very good for you if you like them, add them in. I myself, I despise them, so I'm going to steer away from that, and I'm going to go with broccoli. I like broccoli. I like green beans. And I like a few other examples, but you want to have things that are going to fill you up and be low calorie or high protein. And that's what we're filling here. And then we're going to want maybe a starchy kind of carbohydrate. So for that would be potatoes, sweet potatoes, some rice. Those are kind of the go-to three. A lot of people might want to put pasta in that category. And although it is a starchy carbohydrate, pasta is really, really high in calories. So that might be a food that you might be eating thinking it's whole grain, it's healthy. Well, although it might be considered healthy, let me tell you that amount of calories that it adds to your diet, that's not healthy. So try to fix that. But if your meals are looking like that, 3 to 4 meals a day, you should be in the right direction, on the right direction here. There's a lot more fine details and different diet plans and supplements and all these kind of things that kind of can go into a whole diet plan or a nutrition plan. But at the end of the day, it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. If you think you're on a diet, then there's an end to that diet. And that's not how nutrition works. There is no end. We got to keep eating to survive. You're going to be eating for the rest of your life. So you want to find healthy foods that you enjoy and that bring out the results that you want. Because nutrition, is, like I said, is a very powerful intervention. And we can all benefit from taking control over our nutrition. So choose wisely. I'll have some more videos coming out later that'll kind of cover some more topics related to this. But this is just the basics. I hope you guys enjoyed. And look forward to some more videos like this. Thank you.